I'm Kay, and I'm a late bloomer. Today I want to do a mashup on winter squash. We'll blast through my experience growing kabocha, spaghetti squash, pumpkin, and cushaw squash, a rare southern heirloom. And we'll check out a few varieties from my farm box and a recipe. So hang on to your seats. It's going to be a fun ride. Winter squash comes in a dazzling array of colors, shapes, and sizes. You could grow several varieties of winter squash every year of your life and not grow them all. If you want to be amazed by the sheer number of heirloom varieties of winter squash, I encourage you to attend the National Heirloom Expo in Santa Rosa, California. They build a pyramid on the floor that goes all the way to the rafters. And it's a nonprofit event that contributes money towards school education programs, so it's a great thing to take in. Why should you eat winter squash? It's low calorie and absolutely loaded with nutrients and fiber. As winter squash grows in popularity, you'll see more and more of these heirloom varieties being grown. A few days ago, a couple of ladies walked by my nearly bare garden and said, "What are you planting now? Winter squash?" And I said, "No, winter squash grows in the summer. It stores well, so you can eat it all winter." Actually, I don't have the storage thing down all that well. In January, I planted one pumpkin seed, and by March, it was towering above the other seedlings. I potted up all my seedlings on April 2nd, including my pumpkin. By the 23rd, it was ready to plant, but it took 3 more weeks to clear the parkway.
My pumpkin is looking okay, not great, but I'm just going to let it wander through the parkway and do what it wants to do.
I had a number of female flowers pollinate, but pumpkin number 1 off the main vine was the most promising. Pumpkins are yellow until they mature. This one developed with its bottom up. The secondary vine grew toward the morning sun, and I wrapped it around the fence. This baby pumpkin didn't make it.
Let's get a look at my back 40. Right here I have 6 tomato plants and 4 spaghetti squash plants are planted in the middle to crawl around through the garden. We'll see how that goes. But I have a feeling that I should have just put 2 spaghetti squash vines in there.
The spaghetti squash took off like a rocket, and vines were running all over the back 40. Everything joined together. It was a jungle. Somehow the bees were finding the blooms, and baby squashes started growing in the shade of the leaves. I placed all my babies in cradles to keep them comfy. By July 5th, with the addition of volunteer quinoa, the back 40 was truly a food forest. There was no more crawling in there to see what was going on. But a few squash found their way to the edge and the sun.
Speaking of spaghetti squash, look at this monster. Look at the size of that.
Some in the shade were not so lucky. Mid-July, a rare rain spread the ever-present powdery mildew spores.
I just wanted to show you the difference. This, and this is powdery mildew beginning, but this, not to be confused with these white spots, which are more angular and are a natural coloration of some squash leaves, particularly zucchini. You'll see these. Yesterday I took out about half of my squash leaves,
which opened up the back 40 and brought sun to the squashes.
I'm seeing the first tinges of yellow on my spaghetti squash. This one's so heavy that
I use these cradles, which are terrific, to keep melons and squash off the ground. This one looks quite yellow. I mean, starting to be quite yellow. By the end of July, pumpkin number 1 was changing color, and pumpkin number 2 was developing in the native glass gem corn. Within a week, I had it cushioned on a stool for support. By now, I knew these would be my only 2. We managed to flip over the big pumpkin, and so the top side is getting some sun and should be ready to harvest in a week or 2. All right, we're going to cut the pumpkin. Okay.
Now we're gonna lift.
You're gonna lift it. How heavy do you think it is? Oh, it's sweet looking. I like it. All right, you want to hand it to me, or can you step over the fence?
No, I could like to give it to you.
Okay. The spaghetti squash I discovered have all disengaged from their vines, and I'm hoping that's a natural thing. I'd already given away 7 squash, and mid-August I harvested the rest. I cut one up to try it. I kept it simple. I'm a 20-minute cook, you know. That looks pretty good to me. That's just butter and allspice and a tiny bit of raw sugar. And let's check on the pumpkin. Gorgeous. This was yellow only 2 weeks ago. You could probably cut it now. The tendril looks dry. But I'll wait a little while and see if it gets a little bit bigger. This variety only goes to 15 to 40 pounds, and this looks like about 15 pounds. I went home to Tennessee for a week, and when I returned, it was ready. Time to harvest my second and last Cinderella pumpkin. For this year, anyway. That was easy. Ready for its close-up. But how much did it weigh? I guessed 15, and it's 15.5. Now it's November, and pumpkin 2 is starting to spoil, while number 1 is in the freezer, waiting to be made into pie. We're winding down to the end of season 4. If you love Late Bloomer, share the love so there will be a season 5. Consider making a donation to help keep Late Bloomer blooming and inspiring more people to grow their own food. No donation is too large. There's lots of gardens in England I would like to visit. This week I got a terrific recipe from my farm box for spaghetti squash. So we're going to cook that up today and give it a try. This super easy and tasty recipe fits right in with my 20-minute rule, though you do need to cook the squash for 40 to 50 minutes. The rest is a snap, and the sage makes it. Share your winter squash success and a recipe in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and share with a friend. I'm Kay, I'm a Late Bloomer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for the next to last episode of season 4. I can't tell you what it is because I don't know yet. Thank you for your contribution. I'm squashed in.